everyone, it's Brian Porter. Welcome to Pickups and Pedals. This is our video series where we show you different pickups through different pedals. It's that simple. This is brought to you by our friends over at Pedal of the Day, and we are talking about the Ecolution 3 from Pigtronix. I love this pedal. It has been one of my favorites over the last couple weeks, and honestly, as far as delay pedals go, I really like the features. I like the size. I like you could fit this anywhere you want in your board. It's super tweakable, super usable. You can dial in all sorts of really inspiring and fun tones with it. So we're going to be going through 4 different presets that I've dialed in. You can access these presets by holding down the tap tempo switch, and you'll see the lights come on over here when we jump over and plug this in a second. I'm not going to get too deep into the weeds of how everything works together. There's a lot more videos around YouTube here that can show you that. But I'm going to show you these 4 settings and what I like about each and kind of how I've dialed them in, how I've made them usable. I do like that you can hold this tap tempo down. You can set your tempo at any point, but you can hold that down and kind of pre-scroll through, so you can kind of scroll ahead and you'll see an indicator light that will say, okay, you're ready for preset 2, and then you can access that. So if you're using multiple sounds, there's a way to navigate it. It is kind of small, but you can get through that with a little bit of tap dancing. That's actually not too complicated. Guitar-wise, we are going to be plugging in this beautiful PRS 2408. This is the Ezra Verde finish, and we've got our gold foils in there. So we've got our gold foil humbuckers. This is the diamond and circle pattern, as you can see here up close on the camera. This is going to give us kind of a good clean bass, a good clean reference to hear this pedal. We're going to be going straight into, basically into the recording interface through an FM3 from Fractal Audio. Pedals sitting right in front of that. We just kind of have a clean bass tone. We're not going to add any more distortion, anything like that. We're just going to plug it straight in, and you'll hear the clarity of these pickups kind of coming through as we work through the settings. We'll do a little bit of clean tone before we engage the pedal as well. But let's plug it in. Let's see how it sounds. All right, as you can see from behind, the pedal has 2 different inputs, 2 different outputs. You have some options for a TRS or MIDI connection as well to access between the presets. There's other really fancy things you can do with it from the back, but as you can see here, I'm just going into input 1 and out of output 1. That's just going to give me a straight up signal that I'm putting again through the recording interface here. So let's jump over to the tones. All right, so now we're going to take a closer look at the 4 different presets that I have dialed in on this pedal. You can see the presets are indicated over on this side of the pedal near the engage switch. That's just going to turn on and off whatever preset you have. You can adjust your tap tempo over here. If you hold this down, it allows you to scroll through the presets ahead of time, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So we're going to be using the neck pickup of our gold foil set. Let's hear how that sounds. So now we'll engage preset 1 that I have kind of dialed up to be more of your classic delay sound. Let's take a listen. So now I'm just turn that back off. What I'm going to do now is hold down tempo switch. When that light comes on, now it's scrolling through. So I'm going to go to preset 2. You can see that preset 2, the light is slightly more dim than 1. If I hit that, then I will queue up preset 2, and it's not engaged. If the button is still on and I do that, then it will move right to that delay. Now I still have to stomp on the engage switch. Preset 2 is more of a modulated style delay. Let's take a listen to that. Alright, so very cool sounding, very kind of spacey, got almost like a chorusy feel to it, a little bit of almost reverb sounds. I have a little bit of reverb on the signal as well, so that's kind of adding to it. or enhancing it. All right, so now we're gonna go over to the third preset I have saved up and have kind of tweaked earlier. And you can save the presets by holding down this button once you dial in something that you like. Obviously, you can see each of these buttons up here will allow you to create infinite options and infinite possibilities with this pedal, which is part of why I really like it. We're gonna hold that down again. I'm gonna move over to preset 3. This one is kind of has some sparkles or some trails at the end. So when you finish playing, you're gonna kind of hear that sound. Let's listen to that. Alright, so that was a really fun one. You can definitely get a lot of inspiration from this pedal, and it can get, some of these things can get out of control pretty fast. So one thing you're going to want to do is just make those adjustments as you find that sound you like. Adjust the mod setting, adjust some of the different modulations within the pedal. It really is, again, all about exploring. So now we're going to go over to our last preset. This one is dialed up to be more of a reverse sounding delay. So let's take a listen to that. This is again just a very cool kind of warbly reverse sort of sound that I came up with. Let's listen to that. Alright, so that was just a quick fly through of a couple different settings. Didn't want to spend a lot of time on each setting, but hopefully that gives you a really good bird's eye view of how this pedal sounds and how many different sounds you can get out of it. I feel like pedal real estate is important. It's something that you want to consider if you're looking to get the most out of your pedal board. Even you could have a smaller pedal board and have the Ecolution 3 on there and really get almost any delay you want. As you could hear, I kind of went from kind of your standard repeats to reverse to some crazy trails at the end. And what's beautiful about that is you're really combining multi-delays kind of in each of those layers, creating this really cool sound. So thanks for watching Pickups and Pedals, and check us out at porterpickups.com if you like the sound of the gold foils here. We'll include a link to those in the description below. Thanks so much.